guys, may the 4th be with you. It's Reagan, and today I'm going to be talking about new leaks for the Rise of Skywalker. So guys, obviously I take leaks with a grain of salt. I did a leak video I think last summer, so I kind of talked about some leaks that were around. But this is an interesting leak that a lot of people have been talking about, and I kind of wanted to share my 2 cents. And if you follow me like on Tumblr and Twitter, maybe you kind of already seen me kind of react to this a little bit, and I'll have my social medias right here, and they're also linked down below if you want to check me out. But guys, I don't know, this leak is very interesting. Now, before I get started though, I just want to remind you guys, please subscribe if you haven't already, because it really helps me out. I love it when you guys subscribe, and also just motivates me to do more videos, even though next week is finals, so I don't know if I'll have a video next week. Time will tell. But it really helps me out, and I really appreciate it. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much. It means a lot to me, so thank you. So guys, I'm gonna put out a little spoiler warning, because like honestly, I don't know, this leak is probably complete BS, but just in case, like people say, Star Wars Leaks said that some of these leaks have some merit to it, so I don't know. And also, like, I don't know. Look guys, literally, if you watched my last video, you know I spoiled myself for Avengers Endgame because people are making me nervous. So literally guys, I'm gonna study abroad in Madrid next semester. So France gets the Rise of Skywalker 2 days earlier than Madrid. They get it on December 18th, so I'm literally gonna fly to Paris so I can see the movie probably. Like, unless I have, it's right during my finals, but I don't know, I love Star Wars, so I'll try to make it work, or I'll fly to the UK to see it early or something. I don't know, but whatever. So like, I'm like pretty serious, like, I don't want to be spoiled too much, but also like, I really think that these things are BS, so take it what you will. If you want to stop watching it, it's fine. So basically, the new leak is that you have a character, Matt Smith, who hasn't been technically officially announced in the cast of The Rise of Skywalker. Like, people keep saying that he's in it, but he's denied it. There's only been like him being listed on the cast in Europe, some international thing, so I don't know. And I feel like it's weird that Star Wars like wouldn't promote him being in it, because he is pretty famous from like Doctor Who and The Crown most recently, so like, I don't know. Take what you will with that. It's finding kind of fascinating. But his character, which if this leak is true, I would believe he would be a Knights of Ren. And I've said in a previous video that I think that Kylo would have sent off his Knights of Ren, and that's why the Knights of Ren were absent, because they were investigating the threat of Palpatine. And so basically what happens is that he becomes a willing host for Palpatine. Palpatine probably, because Sith can't be Force Ghost, he probably took possession of kind of some objects. There's a theory going around that he is kind of in possession of Darth Vader's helmet, so that's why like Kylo has been motivated to the dark side with Darth Vader's helmet, and it's not Anakin talking to him, it's actually Palpatine, which I think is an interesting theory. So basically, Sith can kind of latch onto objects. So what I think happens is that if this leak is true, so he becomes a willing host. Think about like Harry Potter, like Professor Quirrell, like that's what that reminded me of, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, you didn't expect it to be me, da 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 da. That's like totally what I was reminded of in the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So then Rey and Kylo team up, as we've seen in the Rise of Skywalker teaser. I said this, and other people have been saying this, is that it looks like Rey and Kylo are training, and obviously it makes sense because it's a really big threat. So obviously Rey and Kylo would kind of be like getting together, like training so that they can take it on together, because Palpatine wants to undermine everything that they both want. So I think that would be very interesting. I think that's what they're kind of alluding to in the content that we've gotten, which is, I think is really fascinating. I really am excited for that, because I think it's an interesting dynamic. My favorite thing in The Last Jedi was the dynamic between Rey and Kylo. So they team up, and then they fight Matt Smith's character being possessed by Palpatine. And so Kylo ultimately kills this Matt Smith character, and then Palpatine's spirit jumps into Kylo, and Kylo ends up being kind of possessed, but he like fights off Palpatine inside of him because he's like pretty strong with the Force and has good mental capability. So then he like begs Rey to kill him, and Rey cannot do it, because like obviously like Rey doesn't ultimately like want to, I don't think it's really in her intention to kill Kylo. I think that was kind of her thing in The Last Jedi, like in the very beginning she wanted to kill Kylo, but I think she's kind of realized the complexity of his character, so then I feel like she's less willing to kill him, and we'll see that in The Rise of Skywalker. She's gonna, as Daisy Ridley said, they're gonna go dig deeper into the relationship and go into greater depth, so I think that she wouldn't be able to kill him. So ultimately Kylo Ren, it says in this leak, sacrifices himself and becomes like Ben Solo. So this leak is like by Making Star Wars, so I don't know if it's like actually true they got some things right in The Force Awakens, so like bad robots could be having some leak issues, whereas like The Last Jedi was pretty tight-lived and like not very much the only thing that's really like got leaked were people that were Reylos that predicted things like the Force bonds. So like that wasn't even a leak. That's just their ingenuity and predicting things. So I don't know necessarily if this is true, but I think it's interesting. I think that if Kylo does die, so like let's say he sacrifices himself and like kills himself, I think the last day of shooting or so, they had like a lot of blood on set or whatever. So I think what may happen is like, this is what I picture going on. So Kylo may end up dying, but then he's like the Rise of Skywalker, like in certain translations, like resurrection. So I think he will like end up becoming Ben Solo. Obviously I'm super on the train, like Ben Demption is very possible. They're writing a new Star Wars book that got accidentally, the synopsis got attached to a Black Spire Outpost book, but it's a new Kylo Ren book, so I think that's especially good news for us because there's gonna be some redeeming qualities and like look more into Kylo's mind, and also all the literature that's been out for Star Wars recently, like The Last Shot, Bloodline, they're all kind of showing flaws in like Leia and Han, and like Leia not telling Ben that he is related to Darth Vader until like the whole galaxy knew. Kind of not the best parenting, and Han always being like, I have no idea how to raise a kid. So it's kind of interesting what they do with Ben. But the thing is that like, I think I'm a very strong supporter. So here's what I think is going to happen if this is a true leak. I think it will kind of be a mix-up of scenes from Beauty and the Beast and Tangled. So basically, Rey will be able to kind of resurrect or force heal Kylo from like death or the verge of death, because the thing about it is I feel like they're going to explore more of their Force possibilities, and I also think that the Force bond that they have, Jason Fry said that it goes beyond romantic attachment. Like there isn't really a thing. It's like a extremely intimate and like very interesting entity. So what I think will happen is, because Rey is like Force bonded to Kylo, his like their souls are kind of connected. So basically, like I've read this before, and if you know what book I'm referencing, you know. Like basically, because of their connection, a bit of Kylo's soul can kind of hang on to her, so that way she is able to bring him back, and then also she can use some of his power, if that makes sense, like connection, like of the Force. So she can use some of his power to make herself more powerful, so that way she can heal him and bring him back. And I saw some other people talk about this, about how maybe Rey could heal him. And basically, like, it totally makes sense because in the sequel trilogy, or in the prequel trilogy, obviously, like, that's what Anakin wanted. That's what put him to the dark side. Like, only one real knows how to, like, resurrect people from death. And, like, that's part of Palpatine's allure. So, like, that would be very interesting, a parallel that you have in the sequel trilogy, that, like, the light side was able to do it. It wasn't out of darkness. That's how you got it. You got it through light and, like, pure love, basically, and that's how they were able to heal. And then I think, obviously as like a Reylo supporter, I think that once Ben gets redeemed, then I think that they might have like a Reylo epilogue type of deal, where like Rey and Ben are somewhere. I do think that he's gonna live. I purely think that like I think that Star Wars, it makes sense content-wise if he lives. I think it provides better content in the future, but if he dies, like, it'd be fine. But I think that it makes more sense. And like, Darth Vader died when he was redeemed, but I think that Ben will live. I might talk about the possibility, I want to do another video where I talk about the possibility of Reylo children, because I'm not like totally on board with it. It's kind of an interesting topic that I want to explore more, but I do think that there might be like some kind of epilogue, or it just ends there where like Rey and Ben like kiss. I think that's the thing. Like, I'm like for Reylo after Ben gets redeemed, so that's kind of the mood, and I think that's what they're gonna do. So that's my take on these leaks. I don't know necessarily, like I said, I don't know if they're true. I'm telling you that I won't know until December 18th or 19th, and you know, like, honestly, like, my face is, like, once I see this movie, I think it's gonna be really good, and I'm like, whew. I'm really scared, though, because it kind of gives me anxiety. Like, people were nervous about getting in-game tickets, and I've been nervous about getting Star Wars tickets, even though, you know, so it's gonna be a take, guys. I don't know what's gonna happen. Either I'm gonna, like, purely vomit in the theater, because I'm like, what the hell? Or I'm gonna, like, smile and be, like, crying my eyes out. And then you'll see my face, like, on Instagram, my Instagram story. Whenever I see it, I'll probably be like, ah, and then my face will be a spoiler. But whatever. So thanks, guys, so much for watching. May the 4th be with you. I know we got so much new Star Wars stuff. I'm really excited for the art of the Rise of Skywalker book. That's a nice, interesting cover. Love it. So thanks so much for watching this, guys. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you later. Bye! Have a good Star Wars day!